And good morning. Welcome to Your Vote Counts. I'm Scott Mitchell, Jon Echols, Jason Dunnington. The whole eyes of the world were on, no, not Atlanta, Tulsa this week. So much going on in education. The TPS saga continues. Where are we at today?
Yeah, a lot took place this week. The Tulsa Public Schools superintendent resigned this week, Superintendent Gist, after a tenure there at Tulsa Public Schools. Look, I know there is a lot of controversy around this right now, but this is what matters the most. This is the beginning of school year for one of the school's largest districts, and the timing couldn't be worse. The pressure that's been put on by the state superintendent of education on Tulsa Public Schools, right now, if you want to fix something, I understand that, but the timing is entirely inappropriate when you've got teachers and faculty and administration trying to do their best to get students off on the right foot, and only to have their top leader taken out in the first 2 weeks of school. Just timing couldn't be worse.
There's a lot of activity at this last legislative session. There are some people in the legislature, not just Democrats, have some issues with the superintendent of public instruction in Oklahoma. Where do you think we're headed with all this?
Yeah, so here's where we are with happening in Tulsa. Superintendent Gist resigning is a good thing. Tulsa Public Schools are on a bad trajectory. Parents deserve better. Kids deserve better. Now, the process as to how it happened, I have some concerns about. I don't think it's appropriate to push someone out on from the superintendent's side. This one's a tough one. At the end of the day, we need to be talking about kids. I keep talking about on the show. Are they learning to read? Are they learning to write? Are they learning math? And the outcomes right now in the Tulsa Public Schools are horrible, and there wasn't a plan at the top to make it better. That's the difference in what I hope we see with the new superintendent, who's going to have support, and I hope to see it move forward.
Okay, so while we're talking about the Tulsa superintendent and her leaving, there's an effort by a member of the state legislature, Representative Mickey Dolenz, to impeach the state superintendent. He's an interesting character and is very controversial, but where could this impeachment thing go?
This effort is borderline comical. If you really want to do that, which I don't believe this is a real effort, file it. You have the ability to file articles of impeachment. There is nothing impeachable that has happened at this stage. This is serious, and the Oklahoma legislature is made up of serious people. Right now, what happens on the federal level is impeachment means nothing. We just move back and forth, and we destroy the will of the people. The bottom line is, Ryan Walters was elected by a vote of the citizens. If he does something impeachable, that's the direction. But that hasn't happened yet. It is a comical for show, and that's just one of my frustrations, this performance theater inside politics.
All right, he's a former colleague of yours. Your thoughts about where we're headed with this particular impact, because a lot of people are talking about it.
Yeah, I mean, as a Democrat and a former colleague of Representative Dolenz, I certainly have all the respect for him in the world. But I'm afraid that we throw this impeachment award around way too easily right now. It's almost like we're talking about elections instead of just impeachments. We need to buckle down and make sure that we're focused forward. What my colleague said earlier, we need to focus on kids, make sure that they know how to read, make sure they know how to do average math so that they can enter the workforce of the future. These are the things that we should be focused on, not things like an impeachment, which we know isn't going to go anywhere right now. And honestly, if you want to talk about impeachment, let's just talk about elections and how we do that. The primary system, how we got to the place that the best candidates that were on the ballot were the ones that we had to choose from. Let's see if we can't solve that problem.
Okay, when we come back, we're going to be talking about Legislative Office of Fiscal Transparency. A report out. You may have not heard about it, but you will when we come back. And welcome back. Jon Echols, Jason Dunnington. And one of the top issues that the media is starting to notice is the issue of housing in this country, housing in Oklahoma. There was a Loft report this week. Break it down as to what was in that.
So here's what Loft did. Loft is the Legislative Office of Fiscal Transparency. They analyzed the Oklahoma Housing Authority. There was an issue with the technology, so the actual verbal report will be later, but I have the written report, and here's what it said. Oklahoma Housing Authority is doing a great job, but there are not enough houses. We have fewer homes under construction than we had in 2000, and that's 22 years later. The problem is we have people that aren't serious about fixing the housing problem. You're going to fix housing the same way the way you do everything with fixing supply or demand. The reality is we can't fix supply, so the legislature needs to do things like my House Bill 1955 last year that creates more demand for more affordable housing. If government will get out of the way, and right now it's a massive impediment to new home building, we can do some steps to start fixing this problem.
Well, there's a lot to unpack there in terms of what we've got to have more serious people. Help us understand.
Yeah, I actually think this is a topic that we'll end up talking about throughout the fall and into next legislative session. The fact is there's just not a lot of affordable housing in the state of Oklahoma right now. We keep talking about trying to bring new companies here and create new jobs. That means more population, and more population has nowhere to live right now, especially at an affordable rate. The rise of homelessness is up right now, and I know mental health issues have a lot to do with that, but another big part of it is people can't find affordable places to rent, or the average home is almost out of the price range of most, especially young people right now. So affordable housing is a big issue in Oklahoma and something that we need to really unpack.
We'll see if the media gets on board that one, because it is an important issue. Another one that the media needs to get on board, energy in Oklahoma. And one of the things they're just missing, we're not seeing enough about, is hydrogen. The HALO project, there's so much going on with hydrogen as an energy source, renewable energy source. Help us understand.
Yeah, our governor gave a speech in Tulsa this week at the State of the City in Tulsa, and he talked about hydrogen in that speech. Look, hydrogen is exploding right now across the United States, and with the Biden administration putting out hydrogen hub projects, those should be announced here in September. I think we're in a good position to get one of those. When we talk about HALO, it's the Hydrogen Arkansas, Louisiana, Oklahoma project. That's over $1 billion of investment in a hub that will bring any number of ancillary industries around the hydrogen industry to the state of Oklahoma. That's more jobs, that's more economic development. It's a really good thing for the state, and we should be paying a lot of attention to the growth of hydrogen.
We should. Oil and gas and renewables. Oklahoma leads in those categories.
We absolutely do. Oklahoma continues to be an all of the above energy state. We are going to continue to have a strong oil and gas sector in here. Oil and gas isn't going anywhere. Look at the rolling blackouts you had. If we went to all electric vehicles, I hope you don't like having your lights turned on, because we don't make enough electricity. You wouldn't be capable of doing it. But what we do have to do is continue to be a leader, just like we are in wind. We're a leader in wind. We're a leader in oil and natural gas. We are going to be a leader in hydrogen. Oklahomans are going to be fueling the economy for this next century in the United States. This is one area I'm very excited about. You almost never hear me see anything good about President Biden. I'm excited about this initiative. They're right on. I'm not excited about a tax on the oil and gas industry, but I am excited about an all-of-the-above energy policy.
Yeah. As Joe says, it's a big deal, or something like that. Hey, thanks for watching Your Vote Counts. See this again on our website /YourVoteCounts, and follow me on LinkedIn, Facebook, Threads, and Twitter @Mitchell Talks.